So do you have a sense of purpose in your business? It's one of the things that every business has to have these days, isn't it? With me today, I've got Sarah Birkin, who is a consultant on purpose and strategy with many businesses. So we're going to have a conversation about purpose.
Thanks, Rob. It's lovely to be here sharing with you today. So let me ask you, do you have a purpose in your business?
We do. And our purpose is basically to help people.
Fantastic. So do many people know about that? Do you share that openly?
We find it quite a difficult thing to share, actually.
Why is that?
I'll think about it, and we'll talk about it coming right up. Okay, so our sense of purpose, I think I mentioned to you this before, 7 or 8 years ago, we got our directors together and we said, we're going to come up, because we'd watched Simon Sinek's video, Start With Why, and we got together and I said, look, I want to understand why we all turn up here every day. Why do we get out of bed in the morning? And it was really comical because there was 5 of us in the room and they all looked at me and sort of this holier than thou attitude, and it was like, my purpose is much greater than yours kind of thing. We're never going to end up on the same page, we're all here for different reasons. Yeah. And I can tell you after about a 4-hour discussion, we were exactly on the same page.
Isn't that
really
funny?
Interesting.
Like-minded leaders.
Yeah, and our purpose is to help people.
Okay. So your purpose is to help people, which is a fantastic gesture, and it's obviously coming from the heart. Do you share that much? Do you take that out into the world? Do you talk about it?
I find it really difficult as a business owner to share these things. So, how does that manifest itself? We do a lot of giving programs. We're part of the Buy One, Give One group. Yeah. And so part of our income is shared, with charities all around the world. But we do mention it, but I don't sort of talk that openly about it. It feels a bit awkward.
It does feel a bit awkward sometimes. I always talk about it.
It's like you're trying to look good.
You're trying to look good, yeah. Look at us, aren't we fantastic? We're doing all of these wonderful things for other people.
It's absolutely not the purpose. We're doing it.
That's right. You're not doing it for the reason of self-promotion. No. Yeah. So this is a very, very common challenge that organizations face. The beautiful things that they're doing to support the communities that surround their business, they're not actually talking about it because it just feels a bit icky. Yeah. I always think about, your purpose should fit you like a tailor-made suit. Okay. And when you put on the helping people, we help people jacket, it just doesn't quite fit that well to talk about it.
No, and it can feel a bit awkward at times.
It can, can't it?
And I think the danger with CSR programs and things like that, they look like a bolt-on to the business. Yeah. And there's a danger they're not an inherent, part of the heart of the business.
And I think that is a very common approach to CSR strategies, that they are a tick box on the side and aren't we doing something for the community? When actually, I think for you, Rob, and when we first spoke about this, you said to me, our purpose is to help people. And I kind of went, yes, that's true. Yes. Absolutely true. Yeah. And I asked you, are you happy to talk about this? And you were like, no, it doesn't really feel right. Yeah. And I said, I think there's something deeper going on here.
Okay. Well, let's go deeper then.
Let's go deeper. So tell me, what is it about helping people that you enjoy most?
We help people in a lot of ways in our business. So there's helping the needy, which is a charitable bit, helping our clients. I love working with clients who, sometimes it's like turning the light on when they get something. Yeah. And you just know that it's going to provide a huge benefit to their business, but not just to their business, but to them personally. Yeah. And it might be helping them in their role or reducing their stress and things like that. It's just great feedback.
And how do you help them specifically?
So our main business is our consulting business. So it comes down to cost and service ultimately. Yeah. So we're generally working with quite big businesses and we're helping them realign their supply chain and logistics. A bit boring, I know, that's kind of what we do. And ultimately it will end up in their business performing better, better bottom line. But it's not just about that, it's about the people in the business too. Yeah. So we like to work very closely with our client staff and it's about knowledge transfer and it's kind of, giving them a boost up and giving them more confidence and capability as well.
So there's something about what you're doing in your consulting business. And then we have also spoken about another business that you run as well. What business is that?
So that's Virtual Done Well in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And this video is probably going up on the Virtual Done Well
Virtual Done Well
YouTube channel.
Fantastic.
Don't tell my consulting clients, it's probably my favourite business.
And why is it your favourite business?
We're going to publish all of this. Why is it my favourite business? I just love working with our team there. They are fantastic people. They're a joy to work with, and what I really enjoy is seeing them rise to their occasion, build their confidence, build their capability, and to really see them do well. An example of that, when I won't go into the whole story of Virtual Done Well and how it started, but when we started it, my personal assistant, who was 19 years old at the time, became the president of the business and started it.
Amazing. That's amazing.
We started with 4 people.
That's great.
And I said, hey, you're my PA, you're kind of the boss of the team. You're the president, get on with it. And she did an amazing job.
And I can see, can everyone see here how lit up Rob is talking about this particular part of his business? Yeah. So when Rob and I had a conversation about this, you mentioned this helping people. Yeah. We help people. Helping people can feel really passive. It feels like it's a passive thing. And
it's like throwing $10.
Throwing $10, exactly, and here, have a coffee or have a roll or have $10, whatever it is. And that's not what you're doing. And so what I can see that you're doing...
This is a bit like analysis.
It is a little bit like analysis. But what I can see that you're doing is you're creating the foundations for people to step up and help themselves.
It's interesting you say that, because if we look at some of the charitable work that we do, so going back to the CSR programs, a lot of the programs that we give to are around education. It's particularly educating women in a lot of poor countries is a way to really, boost the economy and boost families. A lot of it is around education and even buying bicycles for kids so they can get to school, and that's the CSR side, which is hopefully not a bolt-on. With our business in the Philippines and with our clients, what we really get a buzz out of is just seeing people step up. And I think I mentioned earlier on, we also have an education business where we have a lot of next generation sort of supply chain leaders coming through, and we're imparting all the stuff that we've learned over the last 20 or 30 years with them. And it's incredible to see, some of them have been with us 2 or 3 years, how they're advancing their careers and doing well in their businesses. So, they're getting promotions and doing all sorts of amazing things.
So I think, to kind of wrap this into a nutshell, for something that you might be more comfortable talking about is about not necessarily just helping people, it's actually about creating the foundations for empowerment. Would you be more comfortable talking about that?
Yeah, I think we've got a big corporate market out there. How are they is that going to resonate with them? I'm sure we'll find a way to do that.
I think it would be interesting to explore that, and that's where this process can be really valuable, because you can actually get this down into a more granular, actionable statement and a distinction. So again, taking away that ambiguity a little bit and go, could it be the foundations to empower success for others? And could that apply to the logistics as much as it does for your outsourcing?
Absolutely.
Because I think there's a connection there.
Absolutely. And if we look at some of our major clients around the world, we're based in Australia, we have clients all over the place. Those with whom we've had a really long-term relationship with and enjoy working with the most are probably the ones where we've got that sort of relationship where we see a positive improvement, not just in the business, but in their personal careers and roles as well.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing.
And
So
that's a great feedback, and it kind of eggs you on to.
it does.
You know.
So then you can start thinking, okay,
Yeah.
is this client aligned with our purpose? Will this actually give us the fulfillment that we derive from working with great clients who succeed as a result of
Absolutely.
the talents and skills that we bring to them?
So it's a little bit like being a coach of a football team, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, you're
Yeah.
very proud of your team when they win the championship.
As you should be. And I think it's important that we do celebrate those moments of pride, because it's actually in those moments of pride that you can start to unlock, why are we so proud about this? What have we brought to the table here? And it's clear what you're bringing to the
Where
table.
did this start? This conversation started about feeling almost embarrassed or reluctant to talk about a CSR program.
Yeah, that's right.
You've actually turned it on its head.
Yeah.
And said it's not just the CSR program; it's company wide.
Yeah.
And it's inherent in what we do is actually helping people succeed.
It is. It's
empowering
been
people.
Inherent and hidden. And we've just shined a light on it.
Maybe we'll peel back and unhide it a bit.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
So I don't know whether you got anything out of this conversation, but it was pretty enlightening for me. So I guess it's all about purpose and why you do what you do, and sharing that with the broader community, not just your clients, but internally.
Yeah, using it as a lead and a guide for business in all aspects.
So we do realise we're going to have to do another video now on how do we spread the message and get engagement internally about it.
Yes, that is a whole nother video, but I'd be more than happy to come back and share that with you.
Okay. Sarah, thank you very much for putting me on the spot, because it's something I've been feeling a bit uncomfortable about, but you've kind of opened my eyes now, so that was really interesting.
Absolute pleasure, because this is actually helping me fulfil my purpose too, Rob.
Great.
Thanks.
And before we both tear up, let's finish the video. So you know how it works on this channel. We have new videos coming out every Wednesday, so do subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And if you've got any feedback on this particular video, do please comment below. I'd love to see the feedback. That way we know the sort of videos that you're enjoying, and if we can give some more tips on the comments, that's great too. So thank you again, Sarah, for coming along, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah.